coming out of the Colts locker room and also coming out of that same region, right, of Indianapolis. Another huge news, the Pat McAfee show, right? Why is the show talking about a show? That's kind of weird. Well, I just wanted to give them credit, and I wanted to tell people how I feel about the Pat McAfee show moving to ESPN. Pat McAfee and the boys announced just a couple days ago that they had this big deal. They've been kind of dropping little nuggets and hinting towards a massive deal that they had. And then they just recently announced that the big news was that they did sign a deal with ESPN. It's going to move their show into ESPN. The Pat McAfee show, I believe, will no longer exist in terms of like complete ownership. The YouTube channel itself, I don't believe will exist. I don't know if they still have the ability to just like pull clips from the show and upload clips like that. I'm not sure. I would assume not. I would assume that that's not the case because the show itself that's going to be on YouTube will be under the ESPN YouTube channel. But their show in general is still going to operate and run live just as it does on YouTube now. But that's going to be on ESPN Plus. And that's going to be on ESPN's YouTube channel. On ESPN, the network, right? That network television, whatever channel it is that you watch ESPN on, they will fit into a time slot on there where there'll be like a jump into, you know, if you remember when they were still doing like Sirius XM stuff where they had to like, yeah, boom, 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 wrap it up. Okay, we're cut. And then whoever they were talking to or whatever they were talking about, they'd be like, okay, we're off of XM now. We're good. What's up? Blah, 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 blah. That's kind of how it's going to work, right? They're going to kind of lead in. Their show's going to start. They're going to be doing their thing. They're going to lead into the time block where they are now live on ESPN's network, the channel, and then come off that time block and then keep doing their thing, wrap it up. So it's not going to look too different in terms of the show. At least that's what they tell us. But I've been seeing a lot of people hate on it, and this is why I wanted to speak about it, right? Just talking about them moving to ESPN and getting a big deal and all that stuff is great, but like, why would I even want to talk about it? Well, it's because of the hate that I'm seeing that they're getting. People calling Pat McAfee a sellout and all this show is over. It was good. Now it's going to be done. Like, it's not going to be watchable anymore. It's not going to be enjoyable. It's not going to be the same thing. It's going to change completely. And I just can't help but just push back against all the people hating or all the people that are critics of this, you know, that they're just upset that Pat McAfee show itself is moving into ESPN while they're all upset about it. I get it. You love it. You don't want your show to change. I love the Pat McAfee show. It's freaking awesome. In my opinion, it's the best football show in the world. Like the stuff that they're able to talk about, the looseness of it, but then also the intelligence of it from having guys like Chuck Pagano and all these guys that they bring in, Darius Butler, everybody that they bring in to speak about the show itself or to speak about the game, right? And dial up. They give you X's and O's. They give you hooligan nonsense. They give you humor. They give you insight. They give you stories. Like everything you want in a show, in a sports show, is on the Pat McAfee show. That show is what we're all striving to do. We're tiny little itsy bitsy channels like myself are striving to do. This is why we put the camera down in front of us. This is why we try to get the lights and try to get the background and get the mic and get the everything to eventually at some point with hard work, what Pat McAfee himself has been telling us over and over and over, this is done with nothing but hard work and dedication from a bunch of group of guys that have come together and just believed that as long as they keep going, something will come of this. This is why we do it. Because examples like that tell us we can do it. So to hate on that, to be upset by that, you got to find something else, man. That's not it. That's not it. That show ain't it. To hate on that show, that's a big L. You can't hate on that show. You just can't do it. Congratulations to Pat McAfee. Congratulations to the boys. That shit is awesome. I'm glad they're on ESPN. They say nothing's going to really change. I told you the time frames and all that, how it's going to kind of work out. So it shouldn't change too much. I think when they are on ESPN, when they are in that block and they are live, they're probably going to have to tone down the cursing a little bit. But people act like they were just up there dropping all types of crazy shit that you can't do. They weren't talking like they were in a Call of Duty lobby. You know what I mean? They weren't talking like they're these young dudes on Twitch. Like they're not talking that crazy to begin with. Yeah, some of it will have to tone down a little bit. But you act like they're talking wild. Example. If you've ever seen like UFC's weigh-in shows, that's on ESPN. that streams on ESPN YouTube, and that streams on ESPN Plus. It's the weigh-in show that they do. It's like Daniel Cormier, Laura Sanko, Chris Weidman's been on it, but they usually have somebody. Chris Weidman's kind of been the guy, but I think they've had like Dominic Cruz, like a bunch of different people on there. But it's usually like Laura Sanko, Daniel Cormier, the host. Man, I can't remember the host name. I apologize. But if you've ever seen that, they're drinking beer on there. They're having games. They're having fun. They're cursing. Cormier curses. Laura Sanko curses. Like, they're not checking themselves like crazy. Like, there are certain words, that they can't say, but like, you're not saying them shits anyway. You know what I mean? Like, Laura Sanko ain't saying the N-word, but she can't do that anyway. Like, there's really nothing that you watch from them and go, oh, when you watch it, you go, oh, okay, this is why it can't be aired live, like, on an actual network channel. This is why it has to be on ESPN Plus. This is why it has to be on YouTube. And that's what we're going to see from the Pat McAfee show, except for that block, like I said, that is on ESPN's network channel. That may be different a little bit, but who gives a shit? Shout out to Pat McAfee and them. The amount of access that they're going to have, even more so, the ability to level up their game. When have they ever struck a deal and the integrity or the production or the quality of the show has dropped? It just hasn't happened. Every time they get a new deal, every time they get something else, every time they get another opportunity that's going to elevate them, they elevate. They elevate their show. They elevate the sound quality. They elevate the picture quality. They elevate the production. They elevate the studio. They elevate the entire place that they're even filming in. They keep elevating. They elevate the guests. They elevate the licensing agreement with the NFL to be able to pull clips and to have clips and be able to do all this stuff without getting taken down. They continue to elevate. So when somebody's elevating, use it as fuel to elevate yourself and stop being a fucking hater. Anyway, that's my rant on the Pat McAfee show. It's going to sound like I'm completely dick riding Pat McAfee and the boys. I don't care, man. That shit is so cool to me to see guys grow and grow and grow. It's just for someone like me, you gotta put yourself in my position, what I'm trying to accomplish, what I'm trying to do. That is my North Star. That's what I'm trying to be like. So don't hate on the Pat McAfee show. Congratulations to Pat McAfee and the boys. Anyway, moving on. We got some. Hey guys, thanks for watching this clip from the Sicko Sports Podcast. If you want to catch the full episodes, you got to head over to Spotify. Just type in Sicko Sports Podcast, or you can just click the link that's down in the description. Thanks as always. See you next time.